got like 10 studs in Dubai now.
I probably did like 3 million in revenue.
Bad. Turned 100k when we were 16 in December, bro.
It's around $250,000.
20k sales and then 30.
Wild, yeah, this bread.
So everyone, welcome back to the SideHustle podcast. Today we've got another guest, Theo here. You just tell us a bit about what you do at the moment, Theo. What's your current business?
So I'm Theo, King of Kicks. I'm a trainer reseller from the UK. We sell on Shopify. And yeah, I've been in the game for about 4 or 5 years now. Through its ups and downs, and yeah, we're still going, man.
So have you been reselling trainers for 4 or 5 years?
So yeah, I want to say that I've been reselling for 4 or 5 years, taking it seriously probably like 3 or 4 years. Because I first started like reselling as like a side hustle, and then I realised like, yo, this can be an actual full-time job here, and then it just went like that.
Yeah, so you was actually like buying shoes like on a drop, like, and then reselling them on for like a profit there. It's like a kind of, it's like a proper side hustle type thing. Or was you selling like
when I first started, I was buying and selling anything. Like I'm talking anything. I used to sell eggs on a market stall.
mad.
Yeah. And I was doing like scrap metaling, like proper gritty hustling, car boot sales, like car boot sales, selling
So
stuff
how
on
old are you
eBay.
at this point?
Probably like 16, 17.
Yeah.
I left college, applied at loads of jobs, could not get a job anywhere. JD Sports, whatever. Like normal jobs, couldn't get a job anywhere. So I proper hustling, selling anything I could get my hands on.
So did you have like a realization that like, you was like, oh, I'm sick of trying getting jobs and stuff like that, and then you just was like, I'm going to start a side hustle? And how did you even like think to start like a side hustle?
So, because I needed a job, I think someone like introduced the idea of start going to outlets. So I started off outlet hunting.
Yeah.
But I was outlet hunting and doing all the other hustles. So in my mind, it was just, I'm trying to do as much as I physically can. Like if there's a little job there, I'm doing it. That was just like proper hustle mode.
Yeah.
So that's how I were going. And then you start picking up with the reselling. But we're reselling outlet stuff.
So how does outlet like hunting work, and what can you make from it?
So the game's changed a lot, right? So Brexit happened, stock doesn't really come into the UK anymore. So in my opinion, that game's a bit dead.
Yeah.
But if you've got a good knowledge of stock, whether it's, it can be Ralph Lauren stuff, it can be like whatever is at your local outlet. The thing is, you can sell on eBay, Instagram. These channels are pretty much free. eBay's not free, but you only pay it after you sell something.
I think the outlet stuff's really good for like places like Depop and stuff like that, innit?
For sure, yeah.
Like almost like the thrifting vibe, like it's really good for that.
So what was you buying, like Nike stuff? Like what type of stuff was you buying, and how much was you making at that point when you was doing outlet hunting?
So it didn't start off just shoes. Like it could have been some sportswear jackets or Miller t-shirts, shorts.
Yeah, I see a lot of the Miller t-shirt stuff, like
caps, football boots, any Nike product. Yeah. Or let's say I'd buy some Ralph Lauren hats or some Adidas samples or something like that. Just anything, buying and selling. But with the outlet hunting, you get addicted to it because it's not like I'm getting X amount today. Sometimes you're doing lucky finds.
Yeah, it's like you don't know what you're gonna find on that day.
Exactly. Yeah. So like I remember like one of my biggest finds, profit percentage wise, were like it was like a lime green Adidas mountaineering jacket.
Yeah.
And I saw it, and I knew something was special about it, but I didn't know anything about it. Bought it for 12 quid, Adidas sample, resold it 400 quid.
Shut up! Yeah. 12 quid to 400 quid.
12 quid to 400, and that was conservative. I'm sure this jacket would sold at like 550 a couple of times, but when you pay 12 quid,
yeah.
Did you get a couple of them, or did you just manage to get the one?
I got one, and my mate got one.
Jeez.
Mental.
But, so a guy were looking at it, and I said, "Oh, that's nice." That he had a big pile of stuff because he was a reseller as well. I went, "Oh, that's nice." I go, "Oh, you have it."
Man, what? So did he hand you the jacket?
Yeah.
So he basically handed you £380 profit.
Yeah.
Something.
Obviously, neither of us knew.
What?
It was mad, but that's good and bad because when you have little runs like that, that's what gets you addicted.
I bet you was gassed.
But that one there might cost you 90 days of not getting anything.
Yeah.
Because you've still got that in the back of your brain. You're still going for it.
So when you're going into these stores, are you like, you're finding that product, you're going on eBay searching the tag, or you literally just buy it and then going home and like hoping that it does well? Or at this point you've got a good knowledge?
Depending what price point. If you're getting it cheap enough, you can flip anything.
Yeah, like that 12 quid.
You can. So
100%.
You're always going to be able to flip. I'm probably a bit overly ambitious. That's why I ended up with a lot of shit. Yeah. But because I'm just buying everything, you're just getting into buying mode. But But yeah, you get addicted to it and you just keep piling it up.
So if you've ever thought about becoming a reseller, so selling things like sneakers, hyped clothing, or just random everyday items that can make a profit from, then we here at SideHustle own a second business called Crep Chief Notify. And Crep Chief Notify is an app on the App Store. You can download it there and become a member. And basically what we do on this app is we provide you with notification and guides on exactly how to become a reseller. The guides teach you how to do everything reselling related, how to make the most profit, how to list items, where you're going to find items to buy and sell. But the most important thing that we do on this app is send you notification about profitable opportunities. So this could be something like a Lego car like we have here. We basically posted this notification out as a new buy saying you can go and buy this item for £85 in Tesco and resell it for £140 plus. Each time you buy and sell this, you make around £50 profit, and you just keep doing this year through year, month in, month out, and make profit that way. The app provides you with tons of profitable item notifications, whether it's sneakers, hyped clothing, these Lego little cars you can buy, collectibles, or even things like everyday items like heated blankets, which are a massive seller at the moment. So if you want to become a member, you want to start reselling, you want to start your reselling journey, you want to start a side hustle, then search Crep Chief Notify in the App Store, download our app, and go from there.
How much do you think you made from like that period of like going out to outlets and stuff?
It's tough, man, because everything I was making going straight back in. I'm talking 100%. Like I used to wear Nike gym sets all the time,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't even keep a Nike gym set, and I was getting them for like
Cheap.
super cheap, like 20, 30 quid. I wouldn't even keep them.
Mad.
So everything 100% was going back in. So my lifestyle didn't change at all.
Yeah.
Looking back, I probably should have started buying some stuff, but I didn't. I just kept flipping.
So how long did that go on for?
Well, I sort of did it on the part-time for 2 or 3 years. And then it just finished because of Brexit, to be honest. And a lot of prices, I mean, you'll notice a lot of retail prices for Nike went up.
Yeah.
Like Air Max 95 is 170 quid now.
Air Force Ones.
Air Force Ones, 120 quid, I think they are.
Yeah, something like that.
Everything's sort of gone up 20%, 10%, because it's because Brexit now. They've got to pay more money on the stock coming into the UK.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, that game's finished for Nike anyway.
Yeah.
But there's other stores in Europe that still get stuff.
Making a
Wow.
killing.
So if you're in Europe, outlet hunting's still a big thing.
Listen, if you've got a mate and you both game, you can go drive from the UK down to Dover, Belgium, Germany, do the big loop, and you can hit a lot of stores in a few days.
Fill the car up.
Side hustle holiday, that mate. Get a couple of boys in the car, fly down to Germany,
Be a good
do a
little
load of
video,
outlet
that, wouldn't
hunting. That'd be a sick video.
Yeah, it would.
I hope some people do that. That'd be cash. That'd be cash. So, you was doing all this outlet hunting, doing all these other side hustles and stuff. Was that like, when did the kind of like, opening up like an online like trainer like selling store, like when did that come into it? And I imagine, all this side hustle stuff you was doing before, you was doing that to build capital to allow you to, buy trainers and stuff. So when did you launch, the sneaker selling store?
So it was always Instagram. The thing is, you can go make an Instagram now for free in 5 minutes. So Instagram
Straight to the market.
Instagram's a lot different now, as you probably know. Yeah. It's very hard to get organic reach on Instagram. Even though you've got a lot of followers, a lot of them don't actually see your product anymore. No. So, I mean, I definitely would still do that now because it's free, 100%. But it's much harder. Yeah. But I basically just built up an Instagram, and the gym sets is what really grew my Instagram. Like, I could go get a pair of Travis Scotts I paid £1,000 for, and it's worth £1,700, let's say. And that photo might get 50 likes, but then I used to do a gym set and it'd get 300 likes, 1,000 likes, 1,500 likes, and the reach of it was huge.
Yeah. So is this like gym clothing and stuff like that?
Yeah, gym clothing.
And was you selling that kind of stuff like under retail, or was it because? Why do you think like you managed to sell that kind of stuff? Is it because you were selling it in like packs, almost like a set, or like?
Yeah, packs and sets, and people like the bright colours, especially like lads our age. I mean,
like the Miller tops and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like Bennett's in it. Bennett's do really well.
Yeah, but Bennett's don't actually hold stock though.
His speciality is just doing online referral to Nike now, isn't it?
So it's like Soul Supplier type stuff.
Yeah, it is.
So that's the thing with Bennett's. Yeah. And then the type of stock that he's got, his channel's growing because it does well on Instagram. Yeah. So that's a little hack there if you want to go on Instagram.
yeah.
It always does better because the thing is you can sell like it can be a rare pair of kicks, but if you've got like them Travis Scott Phantoms that have just come out.
Yeah.
Well, when they drop everywhere.
Yeah.
You've seen them on
Yeah.
if you're into sneakers, you see them on 100 pages. So
Yeah, you've seen it for 2 months before as
everyone's
well.
already seen it all.
Yeah.
So
No one's interacting with it.
that type of content doesn't really do well anymore. So it's a bit difficult if you're just relying on that now, to be honest.
So the page King of Kicks, was it always called King of Kicks, or was that like so obviously at the start, you said you were selling like gym stuff and stuff like that. Was it called something else at the start, and was you like predominantly going down this kind of like fitness route?
It were always King of Kicks.
Yeah.
Because I always wanted to do trainers, and I was doing a bit of reselling on the side.
Yeah.
But like rare trainers was sort of like I'm not going to say a side hustle, but I didn't focus on it as much.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was still King of Kicks. It took me a couple of months to start it because I couldn't think of a name.
Yeah.
And I think my brother mentioned like King of Kicks or something. And I had an old logo, but then I got a proper logo made, and it's stuck with that.
So how much was you making off like the kind? So was the first big thing that was making you like a lot of money from like selling things on that Instagram? Was that like the gym stuff? And how much was you like making on the gym stuff?
So it was like doubling up every time. So even though you might be making 40 quid, 20 quid profit, and it were like, it's a lot different when you've not got bills for, if you've got to pay someone to pack an order and send it out in an office and the Wi-Fi to sell it and the advertising to get the sale, your profit margin starts getting smaller.
So you're doing it all yourself at that point, yeah?
At that point, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
do you remember how many followers you had at that point?
I can't remember. It were quite gradual. But then I remember at one period of time I was getting like 2,000 followers a week.
That's good.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
lot.
a lot.
It's more than I'm getting now. It's more than I'm getting now.
Yeah.
So I remember at one time it were just content
Blowing
after
off.
content were hitting organic. And I used to advertise I got into advertising a little bit on Instagram and Facebook.
Just using
so
Instagram Boost, started doing like proper ads.
proper ads.
Yeah.
But I used an agency. But obviously Instagram likes to see your account paying ads.
Yeah.
If you're not paying ads, then they don't really want to show you any
That's how they make
organic
money at
traffic.
the end of the day. So.
Exactly. So
Interesting. So what was like? How much was you selling back then? Like, so was this like the first year, or like what was the kind of timescale here?
yeah, this was like the first 2 or 3 years. So I was selling on Depop, eBay, and Instagram.
So how many orders was that doing like a week, a month at that time?
I
Like
mean, it could have been 20, 30 orders a day.
really? Okay.
Good margin stuff though. That's the thing.
Yeah, so like 30, 40
I
quid
was just
profit.
focused on volumes. And
Yeah,
the thing
yeah,
is,
yeah.
if I could get something cheap, I sold it cheap, because I'm not really trying to hold on something for 6 months to get an extra bit of an extra 10 quid. Because to be honest, you're better off taking that, flipping it, buying something else, because the lifespan of that one item, then in the 6 months it takes you to sell it, is a lot more than the initial £10 extra. See what I mean?
I'm guessing these people that are buying these Miller tops and whatever as well, they're really good returning customers because they're so cheap and the product's not like £1,000 sneaker or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
It's not
returning
like
customers.
It's not like a regrettable purchase.
No, it's not
They
at
were
all.
good value. They were rare stuff, because
Yeah.
the thing is, like with old season stuff, it might come out 6 months ago, but that might mean that it's now super rare.
Yeah.
So
get
it
it.
doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. I mean, who knows the season of a Nike Miller top, and who cares?
Yeah, no one
Nobody.
cares.
So
No one does.
And was you so with this, was you always buying like the stock like first? So you would buy, like X, what like X like gym set, and selling it, or did you ever do like any drop shipping type thing, or was it always like buying stock first?
always bought the stock first. Never did any drop shipping. I just didn't even look into it. Now there's obviously a lot of people that do that and
Yeah, like
look
source on
into it.
demand.
Source on demand, yeah, but it's a bit of a, there's too
It's
many
a headache.
too
It
many
is.
variables that go
Yeah.
wrong. It is a headache. There's too many variables that go wrong with that, in my opinion. So
I've tried doing it in the past and it's stressful really, and
Yeah.
someone's saying that you need the sneaker and then you're in all these WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups saying who's got this sneaker, and then you try and deal with 3 or 4 people not trying to get scammed. Like
even if that person does what he says he's going to do, there might be a postage delay and then this courier, and then parcel gets lost, and then he doesn't want to take responsibility, and then
it falls back on your head 'cause you're the final person sending the product out to the customer, and
you're
just
dealing
like,
with all the admin for it.
yeah,
So,
it is pain. It is pain.
Depop, Instagram, eBay, they're good when you're early, because you go through this period of you can be earning good money and then take the next level to growth, but when you've taken the next level, you've stopped earning money.
Yeah.
Because all your expenses have gone up, and maybe you've got too many listings to sell on eBay and Depop at the same time, because if I sell something on eBay and I forget to take it off Depop, which if you've got too many listings is easily done. Or 2 things sell overnight, you've got cancelling orders and all this type of stuff. It becomes like a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, so that's what I found out when I used to like source some sneakers for like a decently big personal shopper like a few years ago. Well, not a few years ago, like 5-6 years ago. And I would then go on Depop or whatever and buy the sneaker, and then I might only like get them like 2 days later, and he'd reply like, well, the guy doesn't want them anymore. And now I'm stuck with this shoe. And like at that time, I've not got loads of capital to be wasting like £300 on a sneaker. So I'm stuck with this £300 sneaker. I've got to sell it for like 10-20% less.
And plus, the price you're paying when you know you've got a guaranteed sale there is a lot higher than if you were buying it to know if you're taking the chance of selling it. So you can end up getting stuck with a product that you're not even making money on.
Yeah, it's
got for a lot of months. Happens a lot.
Yeah, it does.
So where was you buying like this gym stuff to sell on for a profit? Like where was you buying that kind of stuff?
So just outlets in Europe.
Yeah.
That's, I don't want to ruin it for some of
boys,
but I mean, you can get creative. I mean, there's outlets all over the country, man. Yeah. You've got to travel though, and you've got to get up early, and you've got to queue. You know, like in the heart of the outlet days, me and my mate, Red, shout out Red, we were literally sleeping in the car park. Yeah, because it was getting that good. Yeah. This were after COVID. Yeah. So there were a period of time there where every single shop in the world was shut for 6 months.
Yeah.
That will never happen again in our lifetime.
I know, it's madness.
But what that meant was there was surplus stock from the whole world, stuck. So when all that went to one place and it went to outlets, right?
Hitting some gems.
So we started queuing, and the queues just got longer and longer and longer, earlier and earlier and earlier. You know, it got to like 4 or 5 in the morning. And then it started doing night before. So we're like, and I remember when it was super busy, what I'd do is I'd get there, go at like 11 o'clock at night, sleep in the car, get up at like 5 in the morning, queue, shop opens at 10. Then I'd go in the shop, come out, go back to work all day, sending orders out, listing stock, that type of stuff. Go home after work, shower, set straight back off.
You ever paid anyone to sit in a queue for you?
It's tough because when those doors open, you've got to know what you're grabbing. There's other people.
Yeah, true, that's different.
So unless they know,
it's
hard because you've got to look at something and be like that.
Yeah, that's different. Because I was just kind of relating it to like a sneaker camp out or whatever. Like I've only camped out for a full-on camp out for a sneaker once in Manchester, and it was like Yeezy 350 breads. Size restocked them, and they had so many pairs. We camped over at night, literally, and then you'd have to like check back in every like 3 hours to make sure your queue was still there. So you'd go back to the car, it's freezing. And at the end, the queue wasn't even that big, where there was just surplus stock over, but they wouldn't serve you. So we were like, there was like next door, the store was getting built for like, I can't remember what it was or whatever, another like shoe or whatever. And the builders there, we just like pay them 50 quid, like, and they were like, no way, you're just going to pay me 50 quid to go in there. But obviously they don't know when you're making like 300 quid on a bread when it first came out. So they just go in, we got loads of people to do that for us, and that was really good. But obviously it doesn't work because you obviously...
Them times are like, I mean, I'm not going to say they're finished, but it's a lot harder now because everybody knows what the crack is now. So it's a lot harder. And plus, you know, you end up getting into arguments and going to these queues.
I was going to say that. It's when like fights and stuff. You ever seen any fights type thing?
I mean, not full on brawls, but I mean, I've definitely had like arguments with people trying to push in front and stuff, and it's just not worth it. But you know, this is why people want to shop with people like places like King of Kicks, because they don't want to go and argue with some 14-year-old outside of JD Sports.
You don't want to queue overnight in the car.
They don't, and they don't want to lose their dignity over a pair of Yeezys, which is a lot of people are willing to do that. If you go to town centres and you watch people, a lot of people are willing to do that.
Me and Tom went the other day, and there was actually like a scrap outside size for like, it was like a Panda restock or something.
We was going somewhere else. We walked past.
Yeah, we was going for like a restock as well, and we just seen all these kids scrapping them, and we was like,
Yeah, we just turned around and was like, probably not worth going past here.
While everyone's at work, they don't realise this stuff's happening, but daytime in the town centre, this is what's going on, man.
People fighting over like £100 profit though. It's like, it's insane.
It's not even £100 profit.
I know, it's like,
so it's just like mad.
Crazy.
People are just mad.
Anyway, so like fast forwarding, you know, to like you know, where you're at now, you know, what do you sell at the moment then? Like,
so Yeezys, Jordans, Dunks, they're the three like main characters. And then you've got sort of like, obviously, Jordan 1 highs, Jordan 4s, Jordan 1 mids.
Yep.
They're like the sort of the main models.
So what's your all-time biggest selling sneaker?
Got to say Yeezys, man. People love Yeezys, honestly. I think once you get to like a certain sort of level in reselling or a lot of selling online, people are after Yeezys.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it is actually a better product. Like, I get all the hype, this and that.
Very comfy sneaker.
It's very comfy,
Yeah.
right? Non-branded, so
Yeah.
it goes with everything. You don't have to lace it. It's
Yeah.
unisex. You know, there's so
yeah.
many things about it that are actually make it a good shoe.
Yeah, it
Forget
is
all the
to be
hype
fair.
and
I
everyone
know,
loving it.
yeah.
I mean, if you actually want a shoe that you're wearing every day, easy, man. Easy 350.
Literally ultimate product, I suppose.
Is
And like you
there
said,
I was going to say, is there a certain colourway of the Yeezy 350? Is it, I'm guessing it's 350s, yeah.
Anything black's gonna
Yeah.
do well. Onyx, dazzling blue, core red, breads. What else? Anything white, core red, creams. What the white one's called? Bone white.
Yeah.
Just like basic stuff. I mean, the thing is, it's like the popularity is based off the wearability, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, you
100%.
can get loud sneakers
Yeah.
that are rare and expensive, but obviously that's
Selling to a certain kind
that's
of...
for the acquired taste.
Yeah.
But if it's a sneaker that's super wearable, like a triple black or triple white one, it's always going to do well. Like Black
Always.
Cats.
Yeah.
yeah.
Black Cats, crazy shoe, triple black, simple. I'm sure if a triple white Jordan came out with, well, like the Pure Monies,
Yeah.
they do a lot of money now.
So you seeing like with especially like Onyxes and stuff like that, that have released in the past, do you find that like the actual like the price that you're paying is like slowly creeping up as you're just like keep selling them and stuff like that, or has it been pretty level for you?
It's they've creeped up now. You've got a window with them, and this is the same for like customers buying them as well. If you're gonna buy them, you're either gonna try and get them on the first week at a decent price, like I was selling them pretty cheap first came out, or you want to sort of get them a couple of months after, because you get the first sort of month everyone going crazy for them, love them, then
Everyone forgets about them.
Then they've been out a while, they forget about them, and then you've got a period there where people have forgot about them and they're not really as in demand, and that's when you want to buy. All right at the start, but if you wait a year, then they're going to be super rare, aren't they?
So with things like that, will you buy in like bulk, like when it comes out? So let's say the first week, because obviously when all the resellers have got them and the price starts tanking, is that when you would like buy in bulk?
Yeah, so I just buy bulk at a release. Obviously, we're an online retailer, so we just try and make sure we've got everything in stock as possible. So try to get them straight away. Yeah.
What's the biggest bulk you've ever bought?
I mean, I've bought bad bulks. Like there's it's not always
What's
good.
a bad bulk buy?
My worst one that I've still got a bad taste in my mouth about is the patent breads.
The
You
what,
know,
sorry?
the patent breads, the patent leather ones, like the shiny black and red Jordan ones.
Oh, yeah.
That's not the best shoe.
How many did you buy of them?
I bought like 40 pairs at $220 each.
How many have you got still?
40 pairs. a lot. I've got a lot, and some of them, the small sizes, I paid like 300 quids for.
Yeah.
But then a week later they came out and they're 180 quid everywhere. A week later, so that's a big loss.
So something like that, are you looking to sit on, or would you just get rid?
I tried to sit on it for a bit. Didn't get popular again.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just need to end up cutting your loss. So like I'll sell them now pretty cheap, to be fair. Basically what I paid, but that's just how the game works. This is what it is with the stock. You can't be precious over stuff. You need to sort of
There's
get rid
so
of
many
it.
releases.
Yeah, and
that-
get your money
There's
back.
a lot of releases, and it's not a bad shoe. That shoe is a good shoe. Like if a patent bread Jordan 1 came out 2 years ago, it'd be doing a lot of money.
Yeah.
But customers, people are wearing different shoes. It changes a lot. So like if them like blue chills, for example, the women's pair, the UNC ones, like the light blue and dark blue, they did big money because Jordan 1s at the time were super popular. Jordan 1s aren't that popular anymore. It's more like Jordan 4s, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
I'm
Jordan
very-
4s are becoming very mainstream.
Not really into Jordan 4s. Well, personally, I've never wore a pair. So like,
I like them. I really
I
like
do
them.
like the silhouette, but it's just like I feel like it's just too bulky on my.
They've become very, like you
legs.
said though, they've become very mainstream. A lot of like, I don't want to say like chavvy people, but like, it fits into that kind of like combat kind of like, like fit, doesn't it? And it's become like mega popular there as
Like
well.
Central C's pushing it a lot.
Yeah.
Like all these UK rappers and stuff are pushing that kind of like fashion.
I like Jordan 4s because I remember like watching YouTube when I was like 13, right? And I used to watch like American sneaker cons.
Yeah.
So back when I was 13, sneakers in England were
Non-existent.
pretty much non-existent. And if you think you were going to see someone in Leeds or Manchester with a pair of Jordans on, that would be very, very rare. Maybe you see it in London.
Yeah.
You do not see it in England. Never mind a pair of Jordan 4s. So I used to watch it on YouTube. So you know, when you're watching something that you can't have, it's sort of like want it and
You
want
really
it.
want it, and you start looking into it.
So now Jordan 4s are about. I love them. I like Jordan 4s.
So what's your favourite sneaker of all time then?
It's hard, man. It depends what colour it is and where you're going, and if you're somewhere and it's warm or somewhere and it's cold. It's like I'm not gonna want a pair of Yeezys in winter because if it starts raining, it's that prime knit's gonna go straight through. So I probably want a Jordan 4, but it's like simple sneakers. Like I like the Jordan 4 Black Cats, just a triple black Jordan 4. I like Easy Wave Runners, just like OG ones, triple black 350s. I'm not really the guy to go for the mad colours, but I like the basic sneakers.
Going back to like the kind of bulk buying stuff, what's like the best bulk buy you've ever made?
This is a hard one, man. It's hard because when you I've probably had more worse ones because when you're buying in bulk and you're selling like a retailer, I'm not buying them and then sitting on them for 12 months. So you don't really see that lifetime of them.
Yeah.
So like I'll give you an example, like Black Cats. I had 30 pairs.
Yeah.
I paid, I want to say like $270 or something a pair.
Yep.
Sold them all at like $330, 30 pairs. Now Black Cats are £800.
Wow, is that how heavy they are right now?
Yeah. And the rest. And the rest.
But that's like a common thing within the sneaker thing, innit? You can obviously some can skyrocket, but then obviously some can dip, and it's an active market at the end of the day. Like
it's not always. You're not always going to catch it. Like who would know the Black Cat 4s would do that? I'm sure some places they sat at retail when they first came out.
Yeah. I can imagine because it's a very like kind of like basic shoe in it, and you know you don't really expect that kind of thing to like do really well. And I imagine the stock was quite high on them as well.
Probably, yeah.
But when the demand's still so much like greater, that type of thing that could happen. So after you sold them all for $330, how long was it before they kind of went up to £800?
I mean, they maybe took a while to get to. Obviously, now it's a good few years later.
Yeah.
I think they came out in like 2017, 2018. So
that's a while ago.
Obviously, they're £800 now, but they went up after about 6 months probably.
It's quite short, really, isn't it?
So I think they probably went up to like £600. So they even still doubled
and then
up.
it's creeping slowly.
Yeah.
Have you ever?
Went up like that.
Have you ever done like a bulk buy to like hold like so like you ever bought something like for example when that kind of thing happens like a bulk buy and then like held it in like hopes that it would go up?
Not really. The thing is, I'm trying to grow and I'm moving fast.
Yeah, you're a business at the
so
end of the
I'm not into the.
Investment.
Probably should have done it a few times and waited a good few months. But at the end of the day, I'm in the game of buy and sell. I'm not. I've got bills to pay for and customers want certain stuff. So that's how I'm running it. If you've got if you want to just hold them and that's what you're doing, that's completely like separate thing.
Yeah, like you say, cash is king. Cash flow is like the most important point of like any business, and just making them small returns so you can just keep buying more and more stock in the long run. Yeah,
because for me, it's like, if even those Black Cats, right? So let's say I've only made £70 profit per pair. Yeah. Well, you take that £70, you buy another shoe. Over that till now 3-year period, you've probably made more than what they've risen. Yeah. On paper, so
because the sneaker releases every week, so you need to buy the most. Like someone's going to come to you every week with wanting the freshest release.
For me, it's all about what obviously my customers are wanting. That's what I'm trying to give. So you've got to keep getting releases in and keep it going like that.
So when you buy in your stock, are you obviously like buying from one? Are you buying like these bulk deals, for example? Is there one guy that will come to you? Are you approaching someone else? Like where are you?
So yeah, I mean, when you start buying a lot, you get certain people that are coming back to you all the time. Yeah. You get a lot of people that are buying trainers, or you might get people who are in town centres getting trainers, or you might get people who are getting sneakers backdoored.
Yep.
Yeah.
Obviously, it just builds relationships over time. You don't get them straight away. Or let's say I might buy off an individual.
Yeah.
That's safe to do if you know how to legit check trainers. I've been in the game a while and I've a lot of stock's gone through my hands. I know how to like they get every single thing we sell gets 100% legit checked. That's like part of the guarantee that we give at King of Kicks, because a lot of these sellers selling Jordans. A lot of Jordans are coming from different countries. There's a lot of demand. I mean, there is quite a few retailers that are sort of like maybe
100%.
maybe like you've seen StockX in the news.
Yeah.
Don't know
Yeah,
if they're
StockX have
legit.
been
Some
done a
fakes have
lot.
gone through. It's like the thing is, it's like with StockX, it's a much bigger company, but their authentication program is as strong as the minimum wage worker that's authenticating them.
Yeah.
So if they're coming to work and they're getting £12 an hour,
Just gonna breeze
do they
past
really
it, aren't they?
do they really care?
Yeah.
But like my team, if we're getting a shoe that's come through that's fake, like we've got to eat that loss,
Yeah.
which we have done plenty of times. But when you know how to get your money back, it's fine. But obviously we care a lot more than someone from StockX.
How many times do you see? So, like, obviously, you're buying a lot of sneakers. How many times do you reckon you think people are trying to get past fake sneakers? Do you see it every
lot.
month? Or
Yeah, every single month.
yeah,
Every single month. And the thing is, it's like when you've been dealing with payment processors and PayPal and certain
PayPal.
platforms and stuff, you learn all the tricks and you know exactly how to get your money back.
Yeah.
It's annoying. You've got to open cases and deal with all these type of things. I've been stung plenty of times, and you've just got to give it to a charity shop or whatever. But that's just part of the game. That's just business. Same with like if you were selling Rolexes, like a lot of dealers in Hatton Gardens are going to be going through this. Maybe in their early days, but everyone gets stung at some point.
Fair enough. But yeah, so
Free me off.
yeah. How would you avoid, like, how would you get your money back if you buy a fake pair of sneakers on eBay?
So it depends how you pay. I mean, personally, I'd buy it through PayPal. Well, eBay, you've got authentication, so eBay will sort that for you.
Yeah.
Basically, if you buy off eBay now and then they give you a call, they'll give you a call if the shoe didn't get through, and you'll just get a refund straight away. Don't have to open a case, anything like that. So that's very convenient.
Yeah.
Shout out eBay. I'm still on eBay. I've got a quite good relationship with eBay. So
Yeah, throw some shade on StockX,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah,
eBay
yeah.
loves that shit.
yeah, I mean, I don't buy off StockX. I mean,
Import fees and whatever. Like, it's mad.
yeah.
Well, to be fair, the import fees aren't that bad anymore.
there's too many things about it, and it's the time. I can't wait 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I can't wait 2 weeks for my shoe. Like I need it. I need it.
Yeah,
I need
yeah,
it
yeah.
fast. But
There's nowhere else that like does that kind of like, I suppose, the Go does like authentication. I don't
Yeah,
think
Go to Authenticator.
yeah, I haven't bought off Go or anything either.
I've never
so-
bought off Go. I've sold on Go.
But I mean, the thing is, you've got a benefit of buying from a small business because ultimately your queries closer to the top to get handled.
Yeah,
You're not
100%.
like, if you email, I don't know if you've ever had a problem with StockX, right? I've had parcels before where I've sent it off and then it's ended up being scanned after the deadline because I've dropped it off just on the day.
Yeah.
And then that parcel's just gone missing.
What the fuck?
And the only contact you've got is an email. So you're
Yeah.
just sending an email, 3 days to reply. They haven't even read it properly, and then you've got to wait another 3 days. It's
I've
a
had the
nightmare.
exact same thing with Laced. I think it's because obviously they're going off their time. So then if you scan it in at like 5:10 and the post office closes at 5:30, which is on that day and it's fine for us, on their system, it's past the deadline.
Exactly.
It's like different. I get that a lot on Laced.
I've had parcels just go missing. Gone.
Yeah, I lost one a few weeks ago now. It got
But you-
returned, but it never actually got returned.
You can't talk to anybody about
No.
it though.
Yeah.
You
Just
can't
gotta
talk to
take the
anybody
hit.
about it.
But that's why you shouldn't buy from these platforms. You should buy
Exactly.
from someone like, you know, King of Kicks.
There
Yeah.
you go. That's the thing with smaller sellers. You've got you've got a closer reach to the business, and they care more. It's like I'm
100%.
not trying to tell some customer, oh, you're not getting your shoes. Like I care about my online reviews, and I care about the customers getting what they want. So ultimately, I want people to come back.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's more of like a personal touch.
yeah. How much stock are you sat on at the moment then?
That's
Can we say amount of shoes? No. Fuck. Yeah, I couldn't
That's
tell
it.
why.
Sorry,
It's all
boys.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
Just security thing with that
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a bit like
Yeah.
sold. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
yeah. Go on then.
So how many like sneakers have you sold this year? It's just coming up to the end of the year now, so
Probably about 5,000, 6,000 pairs.
5,000.
Mad. Supplying the UK with sneakers, aren't you?
And what do you think has been the most popular in that? Yeezys.
It's got to be Yeezys, man. But different shoes have different levels of hype. You know, like you might get a Dunk, Panda Dunks, for
Panda
example.
Dunks are flying
and then they
right
have a
now.
period that's super crazy. Everyone loves Panda Dunks. They're good. It's a good shoe, man. Like everyone can wear them.
Yeah.
Women and men.
Yeah.
Go with everything.
Every person we asked at SneakerCon, like, what's your best selling sneaker? Everybody answered Panda Dunk. Every single person. That
can
shows
imagine.
how many people is buying that. It's because the price point of it is a bit lower. easy to wear, and it's just popping in it. Like they're restocking all the time, and the resale is still up there. It's mad.
If you're a reseller, Panda Dunks are one of the biggest money makers for you because they literally
Staple
restock
right now.
every single month. You can, buy them, resell them. There's tons of different ways to get them. It's literally just like, it's like a constant like cash printer, really.
Yeah, it
There's
is.
so many sneakers. There's so many releases that you can get, and Panda Dunks are the easiest one to get, especially the JD raffle. The JD raffle is literal cookout. Like, it's ridiculous.
Listen, you'll be surprised about this. Yeah, I've only ever had one pair of Panda Dunks for retail.
Really?
Yeah.
Mad.
How many times have you entered from them?
Not that many. The thing is, it's tough because if you're at a small scale and you don't have any bills, you can get one pair and make good profit margins on it. For me to sell one pair, I don't make that much money because I've got rent, staff, advertising fees, returns, postage, shipping, the card you put in the box. You know, all these fees stack up. So
How much do you sell a Panda Dunk for?
about 260 to 270. But the thing is, you can get them cheaper on eBay, Depop. But if you buy a pair on Depop and you're asking the guy if he shipped yet, and he's going, "Oh well, I've got work, and why are you messaging me this?" And you're getting all this aggro. Some people don't want to deal with that. Some people want to buy on Klarna, ClearPay, Laybuy.
Could also be fake as well. You
Could
haven't got a
also
clue
be
how to legit
fake.
check it.
Or someone might get it and want to return it.
Yeah.
We do free returns, so you literally put your details in, get a return label, and send it back, get a refund within 2 days. So people want the convenience. That's the difference.
100%. It's that kind of like Amazon culture thing. People want fast delivery. They want free returns. They just want everything as easy as possible. They want to be able to contact the guy. You might buy a pair of Panda Dunks off Depop. The guy, he sends them to you. You think, these are a bit weird. These are a bit fake, and you're trying to return them to him, and he's like, nope. It's like, he just doesn't even reply. It's like so many.
The Panda Dunk fakes are very, very good.
I can imagine.
Very, very good. It's a very simple shoe.
Yeah.
It's only leather panels at the end of the day. It's not like if you've got like a UNC Jordan 4 and it's all suede.
Yeah.
It's a bit harder to get the exact suede or the exact blue.
Yeah.
But when you're talking black and white leather, it's very
easy,
difficult.
innit?
So there's probably a lot of people walking around with Panda Dunks right now that.
How do you legit check a Panda Dunk then?
So first off, check the box. You've got to look at the white Nike logo on the top. Sometimes it's a bit too. You can see the red through it a bit too much. Then you check the label. Font might be a bit too thick, or it might have a stamp on it. Sometimes the stamp is you can only see it with a UV light. Then you look at the shoe, smell it. If it smells like acidic, you know what time it is. If you've been smelling sneakers for a long while, you know the real ones. And then you check the stitching, and then put a UV light on the shoe, and you see the outline of the stitching. Because if you imagine at a factory that sells fake sneakers, they get massive bits of leather material out, and then they get the guidelines printed on, but you can only see the guidelines under UV light. On Nike, they don't do that. So when you put the UV light on the shoe, you can see the guidelines all the way around.
Slapper. Yeah,
If you're watching this, you need to legit check your pair that you've got at home.
100%. Like you said, tons of people are probably walking around with fake Panda Dunks right now. Tons. And you see them everywhere. You go out to like Manchester or something, and you see literally, I reckon probably every like 20 people you see, someone's got a Panda Dunk on. Like they are so.
And you know what it is? I
common.
don't think there's anything wrong with that, because
No, it's a nice sneaker.
I've got one right now.
I know.
How like UK fashion is now, it's changed a lot with the internet.
has.
Everybody's into the same stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna see a lot of this type of stuff. It's just how it is. Everybody's watching the same content and idolizing the same people, and everyone just gets drawn to the same type of trends.
Yeah. What do you think the hardest thing about reselling sneakers is?
Well, it's expensive, right? So normal retailers. If you're dealing with a normal retailer, you're gonna buy stock, and you're gonna get 30-day sell or return in some instances, or a lot of the times they'll send you like we deal with actually a few retailers. So like we sell Crep Protect, for example. You get the stock and then you pay for the stock in 30 days. Yeah. So at least you've got a period to sell it and get it on your site and all this type of stuff. With reselling, you've got to buy stuff up front.
Yeah.
Which is a very expensive game. Then when a shoe flops or it takes a while to sell, or
You're out of pocket for the next release.
and you don't know if it's going to do well.
Yeah.
You're taking the risk and you're burdening that cost. However you want to think about it, and you can't return it. So it's definitely a capital intensive game for sure.
Do you ever consign any sneakers?
Yeah, we've got a few people who consign with us. Obviously, they get legit checks before we sell them, but then we list them on the site and we sell them on their behalf, and then we pay them out. They're sort of like private deals. It's not like we don't have a consignment form or anything like that. But if I'm talking to someone, we set it up, no problem.
Do you sell like a lot of consignment stock?
Not a lot, but we're game to get something moving with that for sure. Because the thing is with us, it's like we naturally charge a little bit higher because of the extra services we offer. Some stuff's normal market price, but some stuff, in order for us to stock it might be a little bit higher. But we sell a lot of stuff, so the people that consign with us, they might only be able to get X amount on their platforms. But because we're advertising a lot and we get a lot of organic traffic and we're doing a lot of marketing in different places, we sell stuff like a very frequent basis. So for some people to consign with us, they end up selling more than they would selling themselves, even at a lower price. So
So what type of marketing are you doing?
So Google Ads, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, soon to be TikTok. And then obviously organic.
And how are you measuring that kind of stuff? Like, if you got like a CPA, like, how would you measure, like your ads and like conversion and stuff?
So you've got to keep track of your acquisition costs for sure. But it's not all about your front end sale. Like you need to have it set up to where your customers are actually enjoying the journey. I think the problem with this, a lot of these resellers, they feel like because you've got a product that's worth 400 quid, you're getting 400 quid regardless. You can talk to your customer like he's an idiot, but if that's 400 quid, you need 400 quid for it. You don't even have to give him a bag. You don't even have to post it insured. But it's not like that. The thing is, if you're giving a £400 product, it's a lot of money for people to spend on something.
100%.
They've got to get some service with it. There might be a market price, but you've got to it's respectful to sell it in a certain way. So I forgot the question to be fair, but.
CPA. It was like CPA and stuff.
Oh, so yeah, you've got to track it, and obviously it changes when it starts coming up to Christmas, and all websites are up in the marketing spend. It gets a lot more expensive to acquire customers, but when you've done a lot of business and you're getting the same repeat customers, that definitely helps. And when you're creating something that's that customers enjoying your service, that's when people return. So that's why we get a lot of return customers.
Yeah. How much of your revenue or your purchases are returning customers?
So I'd probably say about 15%. So that's something we've definitely focused on because you've got a lot of customers there that have shopped with you before, and people to repeat purchase with you are a lot more. Have got a lot more chance of buying from you than someone who's never seen you before. 100%. So another thing for that, the thing is, you're selling a product that quite a few places sell. So everywhere you're selling the same thing. So you've got to do something to stand out. So like something we've just launched. We've not officially launched it, but it is on the website. It's a rewards program, right?
Yeah, I was looking at it before.
So you get a bonus for signing up that you can redeem on a purchase, and then you get coin. They're called Kicks coins, and then you get coins for following us on Instagram, coins for Facebook, coins for sharing us on Facebook. And then you get £25 referral. So if you two refer each other, you get £25 off your purchase, and you get £25 off.
Yeah.
And it just basically means the customers who are shopping with us more can then get paid. But we've not officially launched it, but you can see it on the website. We've had one lad who's been putting in work with that, and he's made 8 sales off of it. So he's got £200 in store credit.
Yeah.
Because he's been sharing the code and getting his mates to buy. So end of the day, it's a lot of money. It's expensive, and the thing is, we spend that in marketing costs anyway.
Yeah.
So if I can sort of give that to customers as a reward, and then they get a discount and the returning customer, happy days.
Well, let's just say someone buys Jordan 1 from you, and then just a TikTok, and it's an outfit TikTok. And then someone comments where'd you get your sneakers from? They just paste their referral. It's free money for them.
Exactly.
Why not?
So we've got all those actions with following Instagram, sharing on social media, all those type of stuff. That's within the platform. And then we do actually give a reward for UGC content. So if we get a customer who buys something and wants to make a TikTok or puts something on Instagram and tags us, then we'll top up their account and give them a reward for that. So it's just a little incentive for people shopping with us.
It works, doesn't it?
Have you ever done any influencer marketing?
No, I'm not saying it doesn't work, right? But it's hard because, like I said, you're selling a product that everyone has.
Yeah.
So I can go give a pair of Panda Dunks to Molly May, right? Yeah. But if she shares the Panda Dunks, everyone searches for Panda Dunks. Not necessarily the brand, because everyone shops elsewhere. So you've got to be very brand focused all your work's going to go into the brand. Like, yeah, you can get the products, but people need to enjoy shopping with a brand.
Yeah.
That's where I think a lot of people go wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
That is hit the nail on the head right there, mate. Like, that's spot on.
Yeah, and influencer marketing as well, it's gone like massively saturated. You know, when we first started Crep Chief, it was incredibly good for us at the start, but at that time, and there's an interesting point that you just said, because people can get the exact same service elsewhere now. But when we started Crep Chief and we started all the influencer marketing and stuff, there was no one really offering what we did, like open to everybody else. So I imagine that's why it was incredibly beneficial for us.
Who did you guys use for?
We've used a load of people.
We used a good few people.
Demo, TG obviously is business partner of the company anyway, so he did marketing. Ryan Taylor, just a load of YouTubers.
Matt Armstrong,
We've used when we actually had Crep Chief as like a sneaker selling company before it was what it is today. We used like Mama Mitchell. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's like a big makeup guy. Oh, no. But he had like millions of followers. But obviously, again, did nothing because back then, like what you were saying, we were selling sneakers back then, and it wasn't what it is now. Obviously, whatever sneaker we sent him, kind of what it was, could have just searched it anywhere.
Yeah.
Whereas it's different with the product. When it swapped to what we had then, no one else was doing the same product as us. It worked really well. And then obviously now other people are in the game. It doesn't work so well, influencer marketing, so we don't really do any.
So it depends, like the influencer marketing, it still really works depending on what type of stuff you're selling. So I'll give you an example, like Pretty Little Thing, kill it with influencer marketing, absolutely kill it, because their product cost is so low. You've got to think, if they're manufacturing a sundress, what are they going to be paying? £2?
Yeah,
£1.50?
probably less.
The amount of units that they're getting.
Less.
And then obviously the amount of stuff they're buying. So they can send £500 box to a girl on Instagram with 20k who works at Aldi. Yeah. And then they get all the exposure of that 20k, and that box has cost them 20 quid, 25 quid.
Yeah, literally.
So influencer marketing on that scale, they just send it out. Same with Gymshark, because it's gym clothing. It's very cheap to manufacture. They just send boxes out to micro influencers. So I think the game's changed to micro influencers.
One thing that I saw that was really well for like that type of marketing, where sending to loads of people is really good. You ever watch Fire Festival?
No.
So we basically
insane documentary, mate. You need to go and watch that. It's gas.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't end well.
Yeah, it doesn't end well. The guy's just come out of prison now. But
I've seen
Billy
I've seen something about that.
Farland, I think his name is.
Yeah.
But what they did was they got all these influencers and sent them like one post and made all of them post at like one exact time. So whenever you went on Instagram, like everyone's following at least one of these person, and it'd just be on your feed like non-stop. And I think that explosive marketing like that is just like insane. Like that 100% works.
They did like 100 of like the biggest models in the world. So like even like one of like the Jenners did it.
Yeah, Kylie Jenner did it.
Yeah.
How did he get him to post though?
So he just posted like an orange square.
Yeah, it was just like an orange square with like a flame thing, and it was just like Fire Festival coming soon.
How did he get them to post it?
Yeah, he obviously paid them.
Oh, right.
But like, yeah, I think he paid like Kylie or Kendall like $1 million or $2 million or something.
Yeah, listen, if you've got a big channel, a big page, like people think, oh well, it's free to post on Instagram. Why would you pay him $1 million? But it's
isn't it? If you could
attention
get
is currency.
Yeah.
Attention is currency.
100%.
So wherever you're putting an advertisement, if it's got the correct eyes, then it's worth a lot of money. So even if it's some 8-year-old kid that's doing a gaming channel and he's getting millions of views, that attention is worth money.
100%.
That's the same with everything.
It's just like you paying for like PPC clicks on like Google advertising.
But listen, do you know when you start paying for PPC clicks and you realise how expensive it is to get one visitor? You know, you might be paying £2.50 a click sometimes. Yeah. So you're paying £2.50 for that person to see your content. So then when you're thinking of videos getting millions of views, you know, do the maths on it. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people.
And you have like CPM as well, don't you? So like CPM is like how much it costs per 1,000 people to see your content. So like, you know, think about getting 1 million views. It's exactly like, you know, running on an ads platform. It's the exact same.
It's more of a gamble. 100%. Obviously, it's more of a gamble because
you know, you've got certain channels, like if you're advertising on Facebook, you can have people who are interested in a certain thing, or they might have liked one of your posts 30 days ago in the past 60 days. You've got different types of audiences. But
like the retargeting's really good.
But those cold audiences, which is like organic content, they're the type of customers that people don't search for. So the thing is, it's like you've got like marketing funnels, right? So you've got 3% of customers ready to buy now, they're buying, and that's what everyone's going for. But then you've got like 16% of customers who they want to buy something, they don't really know what. And then you've got the rest of the people who don't, like about 60% who don't know anything about you. But they're the type of customers that you want, because that's the biggest market share. But that's the type of customers that less people go for.
100%, and these do cost more to convert, but there's a bigger pool of them, and it's about tuning your thing so it's cheaper to convert.
You've got to put the work in. You've got to give those people a reason why to convert. So if I'm going on Crep Chief Notifies social media, I can spend an hour going down that social media feed. So that's a exchange. So when I'm watching your content, you're giving me something in return. So that's what you need to offer these cold audiences. So the guys who were taking content seriously, the guys who were winning.
100%.
So I know obviously now, like, you're jumping on these podcasts like CEO Cast and ours today. You go in for like a personal brand thing, aren't you? And I realised you said you was watching like George Eaton's vlogs, weren't you? Saying that that's really good. Have you never thought about doing your own vlog?
Maybe. I'm not really the type of guy to hold the camera. But I mean, I suppose everyone's not when they start. But, potentially, yeah.
I think it'd work really well, like a week in the life of like just doing it weekly like George does. Like, it's really well. Like you said, you'd never bought Represent. And then you watched his videos and started buying Represent.
Yeah, the thing is, for me, I've always seen myself as someone who, you're not going to convert me into a sale. Like, I'll just buy off my own accord. I sort of feel like if someone's converted me into buying something, they've won. It's a weird way I think about it, but as soon as I started watching, like, Represent, for example, George Eaton, that did convince me. Because I was buying into the personal brand. It's strong. Because social media is noisy nowadays. You've got everyone posting everything all the time. If you're just seeing product on its own is not very...
Not in this year. Personal branding is key this year.
Of course it is.
2022, spot that.
You're able to judge that person based on their core values by how you're seeing them act and talk. So, yeah, it's very strong, man. It's essential. To stand out on the internet now, you've got to do it, especially with like sneakers. How many people are selling sneakers?
So, and a lot of them, the biggest people that are doing it don't have a personal brand.
That's it. And the thing is, it's like... there's a lot of sellers that normal customers might not figure it out, but someone's just gone and made a website, taken all the pictures off Google, in business, and then you can't see the back end of the business about it. So, it's hard, man. It's hard.
Yeah, and it's like one of them things, like how many of these sneaker selling stores, how many of them actually run a YouTube channel? I know Kick Game does. But who else?
But they're not even doing like
They're not doing in
They're
person.
just doing like celebrity sneaker bars, which
obviously
obviously really
churns.
work. It works so well because then like you're seeing like a celebrity buy the sneaker that you want, and then it just converts.
Yeah, because it's like that Complex have been doing it for years. Right? So they've just done the Complex version. So
and I used to always watch them.
That is a good bit of content. Like me, I don't know Nelly. Or like, there's a lot of people I don't know. I've just got to sort of do it.
But even if it's stuff like you showing you like, oh, I'm legit checking this shoe. This shoe's fake. This shoe's not fake. That's valuable content. That's content of when people see that and can see that you actually know about sneakers. That you're legit checking them, and you're talking all the insides and outs. What's a hot seller. All this kind of stuff. That's all content that can be chopped down into short form. And
for sure.
I think he used to do it in America. Sean Witherspoon.
All right.
Exactly like his content. He used to do like, so he'd have 3 stores and the cameraman would go to like 2 days in this store, 3 days in this store.
Their YouTube channel's pretty sick.
So something like that, I think nobody's doing it in the UK.
For sure.
Like, there's a market there for that.
We're going to have a podcast soon. It's going to be more like talking like this, and then it's going to be like going over some sneaker news and releases and stuff like that. So that'll be rolling out in January, and that'll start coming quite fast and doing a lot of episodes. So
I think a cool idea as well for YouTube videos would be going around to like other sneaker reselling stores, going looking at their prices and showing what your prices are, and if you're cheaper, because think about it, people are probably
calling
thinking,
them out.
People are probably thinking, I'm gonna go down to Kick Game today or like next weekend. I'm gonna buy these shoes. I'm gonna buy some kind of shoe, and you go in there and you're like, well, these 400 quid here, I'm selling them for 350 or 300, and you just fucking shut them down, mate. That goes viral on TikTok, mate. That'll be driving sales. And at the end of the day, everyone's winning. The people who's watching the film, people who isn't winning is Kick Game. I think that'd slap. But what time are we on here? 57 minutes. Do you have any other questions you want us to ask you?
Yeah.
So it's like coming to the end of the year now, but like what's like the stats been like for you this year? What's been like your biggest month in sales,
Some highlights.
Yeah, some highlights of the year. Bit of a breakdown.
So obviously Christmas is busiest. It's been a bit of a tough year because I got an advertising account hacked. My Google account hacked. Yeah,
And how did that go for you?
terribly. Didn't get it back. So you've got that account. You've got that much data that's gone through
got
it.
a lot of spend on it as well.
A lot of data that's gone through it, and obviously it optimizes more and more as time goes on. Got hacked day before Black Friday.
Oh
So
no!
Worst time. Absolutely worst time.
How did that get hacked?
So I had the web development team. Their email was still on the account as admin. It wasn't anything to do with them, but their email got hacked.
Wow, they must have done so many people.
Yeah, and the thing is, what these hackers do is like you've obviously got cards attached to your Google account, right? They'll find the developer, hack his 40 clients, and then they'll start running ads to maybe like a bullshit course or a
Scam page,
or a
something.
scam page or something like that, and then they'll just start spending that ad spend. Wow. He only ran it for a day, spent 500 quid on it, and then I got it closed down, but can't get the account back.
That is a stinker.
It's like, do you want to make a new account? Because you make the new account, you can't get the old one back.
Yeah.
So,
Did you take the plunge and make a new one?
Yeah, I had to, because it's like they're still. I mean, they have got back to me now, but it's weeks later, so it's like
Yeah, you can't miss out on that.
Especially Black Friday.
yeah. So
Mate, that is...
so just.
I was going to Black Friday go, but I'm guessing not as well as expected.
Yes, it didn't go to plan.
Yeah.
It didn't go to plan.
So, go on then. Some highlights. What's best days, best months?
So best month probably 80 G's.
Woo.
Nice.
Jeez.
That's
And what
a
kind of
mixture
margins?
all the channels. So yeah, probably not saying margins though.
It's all good. It's all good.
No. Do you know your best day?
Yeah, best day. So ask me best day. Do you want to lead up to it and then?
Yeah.
Go back.
Should we go back to the
Google
what's your best
account?
month?
Yeah, go from there.
Yeah, so obviously, Black Friday didn't go as planned. So that's such a stinker, mate. But, what have the highlights been like? What's been like your best month, best day?
Best
sales-wise.
Best day ever reselling. I did like 17.5 grand
Wow, that's nice.
in a day.
So, is that just because of a lot of one sneaker sold, or just like?
Yeah, I mean we did an event and sold quite a lot in person, and then the website sales were crazy.
That's good. That.
But we spend a lot on advertising, man.
Yeah.
So there's costs involved. But
Yeah,
no,
100%.
definitely a good day.
Yeah.
To reach that 17k.
Yeah, 17k in a day from reselling sneakers is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But like going on from there, what's been like the best month been, like sales wise?
Probably about 80,000. But there's a lot of costs involved.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not all evergreen. Like the thing is, as a small reseller, you can still earn. If you do 5 grand in a month, but it's 80% profit because you've got no bills, then you're winning.
Yeah, literally, you got no overheads.
Yeah,
nothing.
once you get the overheads involved, it's a different ballgame.
Once you start scaling, it gets harder, doesn't it?
It's more expensive, your acquisition
100%.
cost, and if you're spending a lot on advertising, if you're spending let's say 500 quid a day on advertising, if you have a shit day, you've still spent 500 quid. They'll still take your money.
100%.
So it's tough, man.
Yeah.
Just before we wrap up, then, have you got top 3 tips for sneaker resellers?
Top 3 tips for sneaker resellers. Keep stuff moving. Don't get too greedy with your sales. Like at the end of the day, if you get stuff at a good price, move it at a good price. 2, reinvest. You've got to put the money back in. If you get £1,000 and you're going and buying a Canada Goose coat, like come on, you're doing it wrong, man. The business has got to be separate. And 3, stop getting high on your own supply. Like keep something if you deserve it, but if you don't deserve it, then what are you keeping shoes for?
100%.
You've got to earn it. You've got to earn it.
That's 3 good and 3, to be fair. Absolutely, spot on.
Yeah, bang on, mate. And I'm sure resellers, aspiring resellers, will take them into account because there's some good ones. Because I know, you know what? It's a funny story actually. The first big sneaker I resold was like a pair of 750 grey gums. I made like 600, 700 quid profit on them, and I literally I was 16 at the time, so I was obviously a bit broken, but spent all my profits on one pair of Pirate Black Yeezys. That was it. Just like,
for
and it was worn.
for
Yeah, for
yourself.
myself.
Oh, that's a bad move.
Bad move,
Literally,
mate.
I did
Really
kind of
shit
the same
move.
thing. I got 750 grey gums as well. Sold them. I just bought a drone. I bought a drone and a pair of Moonstone. Moon rocks. Yeah, 350 moon rocks, and that was it. But to be fair, made profit on the moon rocks afterwards, so I was chilling. But
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's all part of the game.
but
Early
I
business
realised I
lessons.
needed that money to then reinvest to get sneakers. So it was just like, which I never really did it really.
Yeah, that's it. Slow you down. You know,
Yeah, it
the more that you want to take out, the longer it's going to get. That's the same for any business.
Yeah.
Same for any business. The more money you put back into it, the more it's going to be. Because
I'd
once you start doing a lot of business, you realise how expensive it gets.
Yeah, yeah,
and if you're not feeding it, then
Yeah.
you're going to run into trouble fast.
Yeah.
Fast.
One thing I tell people, like, entering sneakers and whatever, don't enter with your own size. Because when that sneaker comes and you're trying it on and you're like, yeah, it looks good, this, and you're like, should I keep it?
It depends. For me, I'm not. For me, it's very separate. Like, this is business, and my personal thing is completely different.
Yeah.
But you know, let's say if I get 50 pairs, I'll skim one off at the top.
Yeah.
It's all part of the game, though. But you got to make sure you've earned it. Make sure you've earned it.
One quick last thing then that I'd like to know. How many pair of sneakers have you got?
Not that many, you know.
Really?
Not that many. I wear like pretty dark clothes, so I like just dark shoes. But I've probably got about 10, 15 pairs. Yeah. But
a nice collection.
the thing is with like sneaker resellers, everyone thinks like they see these sneakerheads, these proper sneakerheads who've got like 50k, 100k sneakers in stock. But what they don't understand is when you buy a shoe at the market value when it first comes out.
Yeah.
And then if you have it for 3 years, well, over that 3 years, the shoe goes up in value. Yeah. So as you're wearing it and the shoe's going down in value, the brand new pairs are actually going up. Yeah. So a lot of the times they end up meeting at sort of like this point.
Yeah.
So these guys who have got a lot of sneakers in stock for that are wearing it themselves, they actually don't end up spending that much money over the macro because you can get a shoe and wear it sparingly over 2 years, once every 3 months when you go to a town centre or on holiday or whatever, and then you can sell it for the same amount you bought it for. Yeah, so a lot of these guys are wearing very expensive shoes and they're not actually spending anything.
Yeah. Well, I bought my Miramax used and you probably bought.
Yeah, I bought my Pirate Black shoes as well.
Yeah, and they were over retail. So it's just exactly like
that's
that.
That's it.
Yeah.
But I didn't wear them sparsely. I beat him into infinity. Like, badly beat him into infinity. But yeah, I suppose it's all part of the game. Yeah. So did you get any lost, one last question. Did you get any lost and founds when they dropped?
Not for retail, no.
No.
I do not get anything for retail.
But to sell?
Yeah, we got a few in stock, yeah.
How are they selling?
Decent, we sold a couple. Obviously we've had to pay quite a lot for them, so they're it's an expensive shoe. You're not selling 10 a day expensive.
No.
They're that expensive. So
yeah. Do you find like after a drop, so let's say like a sneaker drops that's like really, quite like a low tier like one, do you find like you will get like increased traffic of people buying that shoe just after it's released, or do you think it not really works like that?
you get that initial bit of hype. Obviously when a shoe comes out, everyone wants it. A lot of buzz for a couple of weeks, and then it sort of like dies down a bit, and then it gets really popular again 6 months later, 3 months later, sort of thing, a year later. So yeah, that's how it goes.
Interesting. That was interesting. I think that'd be a really cool thing to do, that kind of news, like on how like sneakers are selling on like the aftermarket. After they've released, like this shoe's selling really well, this shoe's like not selling at all. Like that'd be really cool. I think resellers and that, I'd love that kind of thing.
That's the thing with shoes as well. It's it depends what price point. Like some shoes stay popular based on price point. So like you might look at a Yeezy that's £300, and that obviously might seem like a lot of money for a pair of shoes, but let's be real. Go to flannels and you'll see Valentinos for £700.
People are wearing them all day long.
Yeah, you'll see Lubes for £1,300 like they are now.
Yeah, LV
you'll
trainers
see
and stuff.
LV trainers for £1,200 retail.
Yeah.
You'll see Balenciagas for £800. So why can't a Yeezy be £300? £300 cheap if you ask me.
Yeah.
And you get the clout of wearing it.
Yeah.
Like everyone enjoys the clout. You're sort of like part of that, not secret club, but when you see someone in a pair of Yeezys, you know that you can talk to them about something. You're somewhat
got something relatable.
You're somewhat interested in similar sort of stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's what it is. It's more than just a trainer. And like £300 compared to £800 is a big difference.
100%.
Plus, if you go wear that big chunky Balenciaga runner, are you telling me a 350 is not more comfortable than that?
Yeah,
100%.
Way more comfortable. So
you mentioned Balenciaga though. What do you think about the Balenciaga thing that's going down right now?
Oh, there's too many signs for not to be a thing with Balenciaga. Honestly, stop wearing Balenciaga. It's bad.
It is bad.
Because there's too many things that have gone on. There's too many different. It was that many different shoots.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there was something like where it's got links to like Supreme and stuff as well. Have I seen that somewhere? Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I'm not really.
Whoever's doing their marketing campaigns.
Yeah.
Jeez.
How many shoots was there? Like which were like controversial?
I think 3 or 4 shoots that were controversial. Obviously, they all had kids in.
Yeah, the main one that blew up's mad.
Then they had a book of something to do with paedophilia, and the papers, and the bears.
Yeah.
And I've seen something where it had Balenciaga tape, but it's spelled Baal. So you telling me Balenciaga are getting the name wrong? But if you search Balenciaga on Google Translate, I can't remember what language it's in, but Baal is like a god, like a demon that has a baby in its arms. So it gets super deep. But how would Balenciaga spell Balenciaga? Baal?
No way.
Yeah.
Surely someone's auditing that and someone's like
No.
saying, "Yep, we can do the shoot." Like someone's obviously that's gone through someone.
Yeah. I think
That's like 4 different points in one shoe.
Yeah.
One shoot. And they're all strategically placed. The thing is, these massive brands have putting that much budget behind.
Yeah, they're not just like leaving a cup in the background for like no reason because it looks
There's
cool.
no
Like, it's been
excuse.
perfectly placed
But
there.
Have Balenciaga taken it too far? I mean, Balenciaga are known for doing the £900 flipping reflective jacket. You know, like a
mad
road. What they
jackets.
call the neon.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember what it's called. The name for it.
We're gonna have to get this because that's going to be needed in clipping it. What's the name? Like a worker's
Oh,
jacket.
like a work jacket. I know, like a reflective
High vis.
jacket. Yeah,
Yeah, so like Balenciaga have done they get popular because they've done like an £800 high vis jacket, and then they get the clout off everyone going, "Oh, I wouldn't pay that." Or
Yeah.
they might do some super beat shoes.
Yeah.
I think this is a version of that, but
publicity's
they're
done.
pushing the boat out.
Yeah, they've gone a bit too
But
far.
the thing is, what you've got to understand is, even though this is bad press, how much traffic do you think Balenciaga has got to their website from this? Yeah, a lot.
How many Google searches?
How many? A lot. So even though it's negative, I mean, we'll see where it goes. But I think people are probably still shopping Balenciaga.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know though. You would be a bit weirded out
I
if you
would-
see
I would
people
really
like
shop
cruising
there
around with
anymore,
Balenciaga. Like, do you think people are seeing people wearing Balenciaga at the moment? Like, after all this?
There are people wearing it at SneakerCon.
Oh, okay.
But it's like if you're that invested in Balenciaga though, if you've got like 5K's worth
Yeah.
of Balenciaga,
You don't want to chuck that away, do you?
you're gonna stop. So
Yeah.
I don't know. This it's hard because everyone loves a conspiracy. Have you noticed?
People
have you
get
noticed?
they
too
love it.
involved in them, like that translate thing and that. That's just like obviously they're looking so far into it.
Yeah, but
then the other stuff is
it's
just
a bit,
like
it's a bit too direct. Like, yeah, you can get conspiracy theories that are a bit far fetched, but people gravitate towards them. But you're talking about actual photographic evidence multiple times in an ad campaign.
Yeah, it's
Do you know what I'm saying? So
they fucked up.
Very, very, very strange stuff, mate. I'm sure we'll see how it goes for them. Whether it'll be the downfall of the brand, who knows? But yeah. Other than that, I think we'll end the podcast here. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on, mate.
Appreciate you coming down, mate.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll have all the links to for your stuff in the description. The store and stuff like that. So if you're looking for any fresh crepes,
But yeah, check out the rewards program. It's so good.
Yeah.
You know, customers are loving it. The official launch goes on next week, so
Be out by the time this goes out.
yeah, that's a great side hustle within itself. You know,
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
£25
Affiliate marketing.
per referral, so
and you're helping your friend out or whoever you're referring. It's a
that's
no-brainer.
it. That's it, no brainer.
Other than that, we'll leave it there, guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Thank you very much.